you're on a health journey and you're exercising every day and that feels good and that's right. Stay with that. Stay with that girlfriend if it feels right. Maybe you love where you live, so engage with that place. And then notice and check in every once in a while. How are the compasses doing that are flying everywhere? And how is paying attention to the ones that are pointed in the right direction, how is that informing the ones that are flying everywhere? And then what you want to notice are patterns. So let's say this one that's flying everywhere is starting to settle and it's starting to move away from, maybe you don't want to be an astronaut anymore. And it's starting to move away. It doesn't mean you know where you're going. It just means you know what you don't want. And so I think some of this journey is not just knowing where the compass is supposed to be pointing, but it's knowing where it's definitely not pointing and knowing that it's okay to also have a gap between what it's not, where you're not meant to be, and finding where eventually you're supposed to land. So I hope that, Aiden, this helps you settle a little bit and not feeling like your whole life is crazy or falling apart or that everything needs to change. Because the truth is you can't change everything at once and have it be successful or have a clear idea of, is this change actually addressing my core happiness or my needs, my evolution? So every step of this requires you to get back in touch with where your compasses are and allowing them to evolve and checking back in with them and being active in paying attention to them, even if paying attention means realizing that the compass is still pointing in that direction. Checking in on them is good every once in a while, right? And then giving them time to find their pattern, to find where they rest. Okay, so Aiden is really curious today, and he also has another question. He wants to know how to overcome the feeling that people are spectating him. I imagine this could be family, friends, people who are in your current space. The truth is they might be spectating you. And the best thing to do is to come up with what we call in the entertainment world an elevator statement, right? And what it is when you need space from people and you need to get them off your back a little bit, you can't stop them from asking or wondering, but you can give them a competent, framed answer as to what's happening with you that doesn't penetrate your core and make you feel unstable, that you can stand behind. And it can be vague, but it needs to be confident and firm. And so if I were going through this kind of amalgamous, this morphing, this uncertainty that you might be going through, I might just come up with a sentence that's I'm in an evolution. I'm not sure where it's going. I'm reflecting on where I've been, and I will tell you when I have more information. Or less than that. People are seeking some sort of information, and if you don't give them anything, if you just say, leave me alone, they might assume something of you that might make you even feel worse when there's nothing to be ashamed of about the process you're going through. And I think coming up with this elevator statement is actually a way to assume control and to have your own back, because it's an awesome thing to be evolving and changing. You're 27. This is normal. And so I think coming up with it's normal at any age also, but coming up with a statement of I'm going through an evolution. I'm not sure where it's going. I'm curious. I'll let you know when I have more information, and I'll let you know if I need help, right? Because you really don't need, you're kind of saying in a way, your observations are not that helpful to me, but you're not saying it in a mean way. These people probably care about you, or they're afraid because they're not asking themselves the hard questions that you're asking yourself. So part of this is just getting people off your back that are uncomfortable around you because you're navigating discomfort in a way that makes them uncomfortable. And so let's just not assume that these eyes on you are even an authority. They might be a neurotic, self-conscious, lost person just like you, and they're latching energetically onto you, and then you're latching onto them, and then la 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 la, and then you're distracted from figuring out what you really need to be doing and supporting yourself. And this person might really care and love you, and they want to know how to support you. And so maybe this elevator statement can also serve to make them feel like they know how to interact with you and love you. Maybe you don't need anything at all. And if you do need something, tell them, right? What is it people say, like, when you're interacting with someone and trying to share, you either want them to listen, give you advice, or what's the third one? Like, let you cry on their shoulder? What is the third one? When you're interacting with these people, if you're willing to interact with them, you can also help them understand how to interact with you by sharing with them. Do you want them to give you advice? Do you want them to ask you more questions? Do you want them to relate it to their experiences? Do you want them to just listen? Or do you really need space? You don't have to put a microphone in your hand or a camera on you just because you sense that other people are doing that to you. Move your attention away from those people. Just because their attention is on you doesn't mean your attention needs to be on them. And chances are they're watching you because they actually want to learn from you too. And they want to help you. So it feels like spectating, the word you use, is kind of like a critical lens that feels negative. It may not even be negative. So don't assume that it is. Don't assume anything of anybody. Just take control and try and share what's true for you and what's useful for you. If sharing is not helpful for you right now because you don't even have the words, then just say you need space and you don't have the words. Honesty is really helpful in this instance. I've said this before on Help Me Please, but seeing yourself as like a little more adorable, like be a little easier on yourself. And like, this is a wonderful thing to be able to move through uncertainty as you are, Aiden. And you're only going to be uncertain for as long as you're uncertain. And then you'll be certain about this. And then you'll be uncertain about the next thing. And that's just going to be life. So I think buckle up and embrace that you can both have a curiosity, a confidence, and uncertainty all at the same time in an evolving progression that will become your life. Yeah.
I love it.
Cool.
Trying to clear up.
Spectating.
That's his word. That's it.
I mean, also, I think the word spectating kind of assumes that you know that people, it assumes that you think you're a spectacle.
Yeah.
That's what spectating is. So if you're a spectacle, then it means that at your core, Aiden, you're afraid that to other people you're different and you're like maybe like a little circus creature, which I felt. Look around. Maybe you're only a spectacle in the world you're in, which is really, really small. You're probably not a spectacle. I don't think any of us are, once we really look at the world and realize like there's so much community and there are people we can relate to. It just might not be the people right next to us that are spectating us. So it might just be time to like expand your horizons and realize that you're not a spectacle. You're a wonderful, brave, curious, uncertain, growing human. The visual I have is like people are looking at you. You think you're in a zoo, and then you look over there and you're looking at a zoo and they're looking at a zoo, and it's like, it's all in relation to other people. So just realize you may just be in a tiny little world. And it may be you're confusing the word spectacle with alone. And I doubt that you're alone. Okay, Violet, who's 24 from Chicago, has never flown the coop. She says, I've lived in the same place my whole life and I want to try something new, but I'm uncertain and I feel pressure all around me telling me conflicting things. How do I get in touch with what I really want? Well, Violet, the first thing to accept is that any change is going to feel uncomfortable on your nervous system, even the changes that are good for you. So you're going to feel a little bit uncomfortable no matter what in this process because your nervous system likes stasis and you're disrupting the stasis even by thinking about change. So accept discomfort as a sensation, not a threat, first of all, or accept that it might be a sensation. You've lived in this whole place, same place your whole life. You want to try something new. Well, then you have to try something new. If you want to try something new and you have the privilege and opportunity to, you have to try it. All right, let's talk about roller coasters, people. Matt, we've had this talk before. This is my new thing. Okay, Violet, I'm going to test it. I haven't fully been able to express this, but I'm just going to say life is like, I really do see it as like your opportunity to be in like this theme park that's life, and you want to try rides. This is you want to try all the rides, or you want to try the rides that are exciting to you. So for you, you've been on the same ride all the time. You've been on the merry-go-round, the merry-go-round, the merry-go-round. That's your home. Great. Now you've seen this other roller coaster. Yeah, it does like a spin. It goes through water. It's like crazy. And you want to try it, and you're scared. And all the merry-go-round people are like, stay on the merry-go-round. Or like, I don't know if you want to go upside down. But the truth is that you are curious about it. You can't know if it's for you until you go on the ride. Like, you cannot intellectualize a roller coaster. You can imagine, like, I'm going to hate that. But I know that you, based on this, you have a curiosity for this other roller coaster. And the truth is that you need to try it to know what is best for you. And so I'm not here to protect you from making a decision that you wouldn't make twice, right? I'm here to tell you that life is just about trying something and really trying it and experiencing it, and then making the next best decision, and then the next best decision, and then the next best decision for you. So right now, it feels like the next best decision is to go experience something that you're curious about. And then you can make an assessment of, what was that? Do I want to have that repeat? Is this an environment that's good for me? Who am I in this environment? And that's the other thing, is like, all these people are telling you conflicting things. They can only go so far. They can't tell you how you're going to feel about this experience, nor can you tell you until you experience it. So I don't even know if we need to go on beyond this, Violet. It's like, you have a curiosity, you're wondering, you'll never know unless you experience it. Now, there's different ways to experience it. You don't have to sign a 2-year lease. You could sign a month-to-month, like you could sign a 6-month lease. Like, I'm not saying this is where you live forever. I'm saying if you want to move and try something, you need to give yourself at least the experience of actually trying it before you'll know. You can't know if you will want it to repeat and repeat and repeat. You don't know if this is your forever home, but it seems like you want to know what it feels like. And so I think you have to give yourself the chance to feel what it feels like. And then stop putting the pressure on yourself to have one experience be your forever decision. See life as a series of decisions. Even, you know what? Even staying where you've been every single year was a decision. You just didn't realize it. You were deciding to stay. And so to act like this is some big decision, you've been making the decision, honey. You've been deciding to stay. I never call you on honey. I hate that I did that. I hate it. I know, but it's so weird. Honey. So you've been making decisions, Violet, to stay. This is just a different decision. And so I think you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself as if you haven't already made decisions. That's an illusion. You have made decisions, and this is just a different one. As for the conflicting voices in your head, if we could just take a second and zoom out, the conflicting voice is trying to help you, right? That person probably cares a lot about you, or those people. So first we have to say, this person loves me or cares about me, wants the best for me, thinks this might be the best for me. But more than they think that this might be the best for you, they want the best for you. And it's important to understand the priorities there. Their priority is that you are safe and happy, or positive result, right? They think that the way to achieve that is whatever they're telling you in your ear. But what they really want is for you to be okay. And sometimes we have to pause and say, I know that the best way for me to figure out what is going to make the best me is for me to do X, Y, and Z, even though I may come all the way back around the horse bend, whatever, the shoehorn, and I may realize the same thing as them. I need to do this exploration and have it be true for myself to figure out what is actually best for me. And so what I'm trying to say is that you and all these voices in your head, your North Star goal is the same, to do what's best for you. And you want that too. You all want the same thing. It's just they think the path is this way through the woods. You're wondering if it's this way and if we're actually going to end up at an even better creek, lake, pond, whatever you want. And I think that if you could get on the same page with these people and say, we all know we want what's best for me. I want to be happy too, or safe, or whatever the deepest fear is. I want that too. I'm curious. And this is the conversation you actually have to have with yourself first, but it helps to have it with them too, because the reality is we're all in alignment about what we want. We're not sure if this is the way to get there or this is the way, but we'll only know if we go and try it. And it's not dangerous to try, unless it is. I don't know what you're trying to do, but I think moving to a new place is not that dangerous. I think it's pretty low stakes. It's big and scary, but it's a really normal, interesting thing that people do. No one can prevent anybody from being alone or failing or having difficult experiences at the end of the day. And so it's almost like there's a meta thing going on of like the very thing they're trying to protect you from, you're going to have to be able to handle anyway as a human. I hate to say it. Even if this is like your boyfriend, it's like we cannot need to never fall down, and we cannot need somebody to always have the answers for us, because guess what? What if they don't answer the phone? You have to build your own car that can drive, that has its own navigation that's within you. And so this is a really low stakes way to build your own navigation. And you need to do that. How old are you? 24? Ah, perfect. This is the perfect opportunity to start to build your own navigation system and see how it fares. Yeah, I think the thing that I'm going through right now is learning how to, in real time, like have artistic integrity and have point of view, and also realize that art exists in like a real place and time. So like specifically navigating like the evolution of this television show, which no matter what, the emotional core is mine and could be true in so many different ways, but working with teams to understand kind of what environments, what worlds this project may live in that speak to the world, the real world, right? And I guess I'm being sort of vague, but the lesson that I've learned is that making great art is not unlike trying to go to the Olympics. This is really the thing that's going on in my head. If you don't do the work, the last 10%, you'll never, like, it will never go through. Even if you do it, it might not go through, but it's like in the last thoughtful, collaborative 5 to 10% that I think it makes all the difference in the world. And I think what I'm learning is that is rewarding, though. Like, I think I'm starting to be rewarded for that. And so I think I'm just starting to apply a lot of what makes me a great athlete to the arts, and realizing there's a lot of actual one-to-one correlation, and they are really similar in some ways. And that was Help Me Please. I'm Alexi, and I hope you write your questions in to the Mentor Buffet Instagram. DM them. They can be about anything, and I'll see you next time.